When it comes to development cooperation, Sweden is a superpower. We direct a fair amount of tax revenue for the development of low and middle income countries, and we have over 100 actors being engaged in making the world a more user-friendly place where poverty and oppression will eventually be a thing of the past. Over 40 governmental organizations are active, many more civil society organizations, academia, the private sector, and of course individual philanthropists too. The core of Swedish development cooperation is about capacity development. Now, that's a fancy schmancy word that we easily use left and right without necessarily stopping to think, what does capacity development mean? So despite the very tangible risk of starting off sounding dry and irrelevant, I do want to define capacity development. Since SIDA does not have a definition of its own, I will be using that of the United Nations Development Programme. The UNDP defines capacity development as the process through which individuals, organizations, and societies obtain, they strengthen, and they maintain the capabilities to set and achieve their own development goals, objectives over time. Now, that's a mouthful. When you look at it individually, the words look innocent and easy, but together combined like this, it's quite a lot. So let's look at it carefully once more. We can identify 3 subjects: individuals, organizations, and societies. We can also identify 3 separate activities, actions: obtaining, strengthening, and maintaining. There's one objective: capabilities. Now, capabilities is one of those funny words that, well, as a standalone word, it doesn't really mean anything. So we have to ask ourselves, capabilities to do what? Well, the answer is given: to set goals or objectives, to set objectives. What kind of objectives? Development objectives. Whose objectives? Their own. To set their own development objectives. Not only setting them, that wouldn't be much, but also achieving them. Now, setting a goal could be seen as a starting point and achieving it as a kind of happy end. So what about the long and hard and winding road in between these two? Well, that is the very process that takes place over time. It's very important to emphasize that capacity development is never a quick fix. It's never a single event. It is a process that takes place over years, decades, generations even. Did you notice that this definition does not include any external actors or any external financiers? We're optional. Now, in terms of efficiency in capacity development, could we still call Sweden a superpower? I'll let you answer that for yourself. But here's what I know. Sometimes capacity development is very much focused around workshops and seminars and training events. And oftentimes it is also used as a flying in an external expert with the expectation of him or her transferring their knowledge. Training is a wonderful tool in the toolbox of capacity development, but it shouldn't be used alone. And we have evidence over years and decades that this knowledge transfer basically never happens. So we have to think again. I know of nothing more boring than perfection, but also nothing more intriguing and motivating than taking continuous small steps of improvement in order to get one step closer to perfection, although never reaching it. This resource bank has been set up to help in the process of continuous improvement in capacity development initiatives. And the resource bank is particularly aimed for experts that are pressed with time, cannot travel or attend training events of several days. What you will find here is hardcore evidence-based stuff, but I will not be using a lot of hard, difficult concepts or theories. They're there, but I will be translating the heavy stuff into easy tricks and to doable tweaks so that it can be easily incorporated into what is already being done or what is being planned. The good news is that I strongly believe that any expert can become a solid pedagogue by using the tips and tricks that I will be teaching. And the other good news is that if an expert is part of an organization, by default, he or she has been part of a lot of internal organizational development. And by looking closely at ourselves, we will soon realize we know of a whole repertoire of tools that we can use in order to embed new norms in a sustainable way in an organization. So that's easy too. Let's start by looking at how we can help individuals learn in a very effective way, and then proceed to how we can support organizations into embedding new norms. By the time we've learned to do that, I bet transforming entire societies will seem easy enough too. I'm not asking you to do drastic, dramatic, big changes. I want drastically, dramatically better results. But I believe that we can achieve that by taking little steps and doing something that seems very doable. Not just doable. Doable isn't enough. It needs to be done. My question to you is, are you with me? You want to be part of this journey of becoming better at capacity development? If so, I'll see you in the next video.